Here's my first college basketball power rankings of the season. At number 10, I have the Duke Blue Devils. And I know they just lost to Kansas the other night, but they lost to a very, very good team. And Duke kept this game very, very close the whole way. There's obviously some growing pains. This is the first year without Coach Krzyzewski. I think this Duke team will be just fine, and they are still loaded with talent. At number 9, I have Gonzaga. Gonzaga did just lose to Texas last night by a lot, and they didn't look all that impressive against Michigan State, so that explains the 7-spot drop. But Gonzaga, unfortunately, has to play a loaded out-of-conference schedule because they're in such a weak conference. This doesn't ignore the fact that this team is still insanely good, and I still have high expectations for them this season. Just, you lose a game this early, you're going to drop a lot. At number 8, I have Kentucky. Them and Gonzaga actually play Sunday, so that matchup will be very telling. Kentucky has shot the 3 ball very well so far this season. It just seemed like Michigan State wanted it more in their double overtime thriller. Kentucky still has Michigan, UCLA, Gonzaga to prove themselves. I still think this is one of the best teams in the country, but number 8 is where they're going to go in for now. At number 7, I have UCLA, and not for any fault of their own. But it's just hard to get a grasp on how good they actually are, as they have not faced any real competition yet. They play Illinois tomorrow, so that'll be their first big test, and I'm interested to see how they play. Still a very, very good offense, and I still have high expectations for them this season. At number 6, I have Arkansas. I still think this Arkansas team might be the best defense in the entire country. I've actually predicted Arkansas to go to the Final Four this season, and they have lived up to the hype in the early going. They haven't faced any real competition, but I've been so high on this team this year, I had to move them up. So give me Arkansas at number 6. At number 5, I have Texas. They were so impressive to me last night against Gonzaga. Not only was this fast break offense on full display last night, they took care of the ball so well. If you put them higher than 5, I wouldn't blame you, but for now, I think 5 is a very fitting spot for Texas. At number 4, I have Baylor. And the thing about Baylor is they might have the single best offense in the entire country, at least in terms of scoring, but they have also moved the ball so well in the early part of the season. They'll have their first big test Friday against Virginia, and that's another game that's going to be very telling on how well Baylor will do this year. But I think that they have earned the spot at number 4. At number 3, I have Kansas, and absolutely rightfully so. They moved the ball so well against Duke, and they dominated on defense, racking up 13 blocks. The only thing that scares me with them is they have shot the ball very poorly from 3. But you beat a team like Duke, you deserve to be at number 3. And at number 2, I have UNC. And at number 1, I have Houston. And even as a North Carolina fan, I can admit Houston has been the most dominant team in the country so far. That's why they're at number 1.